Okay, so we're going to start by actually showing you how to do this. I figured it'd be a lot easier just to show you how to do it. I already have the program installed. It's called MacroDroid. So we'll go into that. I already have 4 macros, so we're going to click on that macro section, right? The blue section, gray. Alright, so I have several, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a new one by clicking on this plus button at the bottom. So we're going to create this. Alright, so we're starting off, it actually starts you off with the triggers mode. So this is actually what we want to do. So as you know, whenever you get a ring, if you have the ring device and it's connected to your cell phone, you get a ring that tells you when somebody actually hits your button. So what we're going to do is find, down here, we'll go into notification right here. Okay, so what I'll do is it'll ask for, basically to allow it to happen, so you select the MacroDroid, turn it on. This is up to you if you want to trust it to do it. I do. It seems to be pretty good. So we turned it on, and I'm just going to hit the back button. So here we have, we're going to go back into the notification, click on it again, and we're going to let it select notification received. Hit OK. So you want to select the application. Hit OK again, and it'll populate this list of apps. So we're going to select on this, keep scrolling down until we find the Ring app. A lot of stuff. Okay, keep on going. NLPQR, there it is. Alright, you're going to select on the box next to it, and you're going to leave it on include. Say OK. Alright, so text contents, I'm just going to leave it on any because I do not have the motion. If you do have the motion where it might let you know, you just want to click on contains, and then you want to type in someone is at your front door. You can type it right there, just a text box. And, you know, continue writing it out, but I'm just going to leave it as any because I have that specifically to just do just whenever the video or whenever somebody rings my door. So hit OK. So you'll see down at the bottom it said trigger added. So what we're going to do is click on the actions button, which is the blue. So first off, what you want it to do, let me actually remember how this goes. We are going to okay. Hold on. Okay, I know what we're going to do. We're going to click on say text, speak text. There it is. Click on that. And then you're going to select these 3 dots at the side, slide down until you find the macro name. That's what you want to do, because what it'll do is it'll say basically someone is at your door because you'll rename it. Select OK. And right now we could test it on this screen, but unless you've already named it to this, you can just hold off on that. Say OK. Alright, so first off, that's one of the actions that we'll have. The next thing we want it to do is, let's see, so just to make sure, we're going to select screen on and off, and you want to select screen on. Select OK. Then we are going to select launch application. Application, right there it is. Let's go and select, scroll down until you find Ring app again. There it is, so select Ring. So what you want to do is force new. So we'll select OK. And then of course, as I said, we don't have to do constraints, but you've got options. Basically, it has to be in a certain state for you to be able to let that launch. You could say if you don't want it to launch it when it's not plugged in, then you can have that turned on. So I think I will go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's put it as device plugged in. Let's see, power connected. There it is, power connected. I'll say power connected. Okay. And any of these options are fine, unless you have specific that you want to do, but these are all just different types of charging you can use. So like OK. So we now have a constraint, which means it will only operate if if that is allowed, or if that is happening. So if it's plugged in, it'll allow this program to run, which helps if you plan on using it for other things as well. So we're going to put right here, we're going to put the name. Someone is at your door. So this way it'll actually say this.
If there's one thing you know,
of course you got ads, but nice things you can skip over it. So check your macro, go back into that menu, and make sure it's activated. See right here, it's got blue, so if it wasn't activated, it'd be grayed out like that. So we want to turn that on. Then from that point, you just test it. But you can actually go in and test that specifically where it speaks the name of the app, or pardon me, the macro. Let's go in there and click on Configure. I'm going to click on Test. Alright, my volumes are not up, so make sure your volume is up for everything. Notification sound. Let's go ahead and select that. It's not going to let me do it. Ringtone. That way it's everything up. Okay, so let's test it again.
Someone is at your door.
There you go. This way you know
Someone is at your door.
That way you know it works. So cancel out of that and just hit the back button. So make sure everything's the same. It hasn't deactivated. So at this point you can test it directly onto your Ring and it'll be ready to go. But one of the other things I definitely do recommend is that, especially if you're going to use this when it's powered on, you want to keep it powered on. You want to go into your settings menu, which is right here. And basically you want to go to, as you can follow the instructions that I posted, or you can go to About Phone. Then you want to go into, let's see. Should be software info. Yes, okay, so build number is what you want to click on. Click that 7 times. See right here it tells me I'm already a developer. So you do that 7 times and it'll tell you, congratulations, you're a developer. And you'll go back out till you're back to your main menu. And you'll see right here at the very bottom under the system menu there's developer options. Click on that. Don't worry about anything else. That's a little more in depth on that kind of stuff. You go all the way down. Let's see, we're going to go to right here. Nope. Debugging. Oh yes, I believe that is right. Somewhere in here is force. Screen always on. Looks like I need to go back and look at something else here. I may just be missing it, completely misreading. Let's see what we got here. Stay awake. That is what we want to select. So this is what it says here. It's actually just the second one. That's why I missed it, because it was the second one instead of farther down in the menu. All right, so you'll select on Stay Awake, turn that on, because it says screen will never time out while charging. That's whenever you're plugged in. Remember that constraint that we had. We made it so that way it only works whenever it's powered on and plugged in. That's what this does. I'm turning mine off because this is on my cell phone. Mine is on a tablet that I'm specifically using as a dedicated device. So at that point, once you have that turned on, it's best to go ahead and go into your display settings. Let's see, screensaver. That's what you want to do. Screensaver. You can select a clock. That way you've got a digital, dim. So that way you've got that set up for it to go to a clock mode whenever you have this turned on. So I turn mine off. Okay, and even if you want, you can go back in there and actually do adjust your screen timeout. So if you want it to turn off only activate that screensaver after a certain amount of time, probably recommended the 5-minute feature. I keep mine on 15 because I usually just keep it, I force it myself because it's on my phone. It's just irritation to me. But most people like to keep it on 30 seconds or whatever. So we'll do that. I'm just going to cancel that out. Well, that's how you set up that app, and I'm going to stop here.